Jay, if you were to apply to be a line prosecutor in not just my office, any attorney general office in the country, you would not pass a background check.
You should prosecute the president, but you're too afraid, you're too scared, and you're too weak to stand up to him.
Jay Jones's text message scandal was at the center of last night's Attorney General's debate in Virginia, and despite the Democratic candidate's attempt to shift the focus on incumbent Jason Miyares' record.
Joining us right now, Dr. Larry Sabato, the director of the Center for Politics at the University of Virginia, joining us right now to sort of break this all down. Doc, good to see you. I think we have to start with the most obvious question. Was there a winner last night? Did each man achieve what they needed to do?
Oh, they both did what they had to do. You could tell because they had one message. For Jay Jones, it was Donald Trump, Donald Trump, Donald Trump, because Trump is so unpopular in Virginia and has consistently been unpopular in Virginia. And there are all the firings and furloughs in Northern Virginia, as well as Tidewater and Richmond. So his message was, okay, I'm not perfect. You know about my scandals, but take a look at the other guy. He's going to help Donald Trump. And Jason Miyares obviously went after Jay Jones on those text messages over and over again. And they do that because you have to repeat the message, repetition, repetition, repetition. And you do that in part because it's an attorney general's debate. And I'm not saying it's not important, but the truth is most people don't watch it from beginning to end. They tune in for a while and then tune out. So if you want a message to get across, you have to repeat it a lot.
And you basically nailed it. I mean, you called it before the debate began. Let's go back to the violent text messages from 2022. They were certainly center stage last night. In fact, both he and Jason Miyares addressed them right out of the gate in their opening statements. Do you think, Dr. Sabato, that you think that Jay Jones put the texting scandal to rest now?
Oh, no. That will be with him for the rest of his political career, if he has one. Now, if he's elected attorney general, he will have one. If he's not elected attorney general, I think that's it. So it's going to be with him because it's pretty shocking. You know, the things he wrote, they're just shocking. And at about the same time period, same general time period, he, you know, was caught going 116 miles an hour on Interstate 64, endangering his own life, but lots of other people's lives too. These things will stick, but he has a chance to win simply because of coattail. If you find Abigail Spanberger, the Democratic nominee, winning by 8 to 10 points, and she's been up that far, at least in some of the polls, then she probably will bring in the entire Democratic ticket with her. If it turns out to be a close election, or certainly if Winsome Earl-Sears wins, then Miyares will win. And if Spanberger is winning only a close race, then it's entirely possible that Miyares will split the ticket, and we haven't done that since 2005. Virginia's been electing the entire ticket for whichever party wins.
So let's kind of work through the hypothetical if we can quickly. If the ticket is split and Miyares wins and Spanberger wins, what implications does that have on Spanberger's potential ability to govern?
Well, it doesn't help. I'm old enough to remember the times when we had a governor of one party and attorney general of another party, and they tended not to get along real well. And the attorney general has powers that can complicate the governor's life, no question about it. Filing suit and issuing advisory opinions that contradict the governor. And of course, the governor can affect the attorney general too. So you end up with a lot of infighting. And you have to remember, Virginia is the last state with the one-term limit, one consecutive term for governor, and it's over in a flash. So if you end up fighting with your attorney general for, you know, every month for a day or two or a week, it's going to affect what you can produce in that 1 4-year period.
Right. Seems like a stumbling block as far as policies go. Where do the candidates for governor go from here? Some polls showing that the race has tightened between Abigail Spanberger and Winsome Earl-Sears, to your point, since the texting scandal broke 2 weeks ago.
Yes, although I have to tell you, some private polls do not show that. So we'll find out who's right in 2.5 weeks. And polls are produced for lots of reasons, sometimes to help the candidate who's trailing. So you have to look carefully at who's doing the polling and what their motivations may be. But I think inevitably you've had some tightening. I don't think Spanberger is where she once was, which was a double-digit lead, 12, 13 points or even more. It's a closer race, but it may not be all that close. So what are they going to do? They're going to reinforce their basic messages. You're already seeing it on TV. Almost all the ads are really negative, and that's traditional for the end of a campaign in all 50 states now. So you'll see a lot more of that. You'll see a lot of the text discussion about Jay Jones, even in the governor's ads on the Republican side. And you'll see a lot about Donald Trump in the ads for all three Democrats running for statewide office.
Well, I had a chance to check out TikTok, and I was seeing some people making parodies of the political ads here in the Commonwealth. Certainly an indication that it clearly is landing with some folks that are watching at home. Dr. Larry Sabato, the director of the Center for Politics at the University of Virginia, thank you so much for your time, sir. Good to see you as always.
Enjoyed it. Thank you.